Our garden is really starting to bustle and teem with life. There's so much going on and I have so much food that I need to find something to do with. I seem to have quite an abundance of kale, so I'm gonna show you how to make some kale chips. Basically, there's like two components of kale chips. Kale, you just want to like destem it, clean it, and cut it into like little bite-sized pieces, or actually you could just rip it. And the other component is just making a really yummy sauce. And I like to make mine like a cashew-based sauce, and the reason is because cashews, well, they add a little bit of fat to the chip. It helps to make it like kind of crispy, and then also it kind of adds this sort of buttery dimension that's really yummy. I'm just gonna pick some kale. I'm gonna pick some herbs and flavorful items from the garden to make the sauce, and then I'll meet you in the kitchen. I've got two kinds of kale right now that is really blooming. This is kind of like a Russian kale. It makes a really good chip. But I also have green curly kale over here, and this one, it's real hardy and real sturdy, so it makes a real crispy chip. So I'm gonna do a combo of both of these. Then as far as flavors go, it's really just kind of mix and match according to your taste. But right now I've got a lot of cilantro, so for sure cilantro. I've got some lemon verbena back there. There's some dill crashing into the screen, so maybe a teeny bit of dill, but you gotta be not overly zealous with dill because it can really take over. And then I have a bunch of basil, so I'm gonna use all of those items. And last but not least, right now, I've got some really beautiful wasabi arugula. So it's like an extra peppery version of arugula, and it's just really on fire right now, and it looks so beautiful. So I'm gonna add that for like a peppery dimension. Okay, so we're back in the kitchen. I'm gonna show you how easy this is. You wanna say hello? No. Okay, so I'm gonna start with some soaked cashews. And there's about 2 cups. I just soaked them overnight in water and rinsed them and drained them. I'm gonna throw in all the herbs, which I showed you from the garden. So this is the wasabi arugula. I've got lots of basil. I've got some lemon verbena, a teeny bit of dill, and a lot of cilantro. I'm gonna put just enough water in for it to blend. The trick is to not add too much water, but just enough. I threw a little bit of kale in there because I actually added a little bit too much water. You want to add just enough water for it to cycle, but not much more than that. So then you're going to add some salt and pepper to taste. And I'm going to add the juice from 1 lemon. A little bit more salt. And I'm gonna have to chase after my mom and come back. Okay, it has actually a pretty good flavor. It's very herbaceous, but it needs a little bit of savory. So I'm gonna throw some of this green onion that was just left over in my fridge. Perfect. So I have my kale. It's already ripped up into like bite-sized pieces. So I'm just gonna put some in a bowl here like this. We're just gonna pour the sauce and coat the chips just like this. You wanna get really pretty good coverage. Lay them out on the trays like this. All right. So these will go in the dehydrator like this, and probably for about 24 to 36 hours depending on your dehydrator. Okay, so I think they're ready, so I'm gonna pull them out of the dehydrator. I already munched a bunch of them while they were drying, but this is kind of what they look like. Super nutritious and delicious. Hey, it's Elisa checking in. I'm doing a last call for Artisan Cheeses. The cheese relaunch is moving along at a good clip. We've got new branding and we're moving towards a bigger, better model. But on the way there, I'm doing a small batch VIP cheese tasting club. It's the only place you can get cheese right now. And you can check my site for details, AsianWarriorPrincess.com.